Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Halloween.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm in the spirit of a Bill Apter has asked me to come here tonight to let you know that next week, Halloween,
Wow.
I will be handing out his Tic Tacs. You know, he always has his Tic Tacs.
Wow. Okay.
I will be giving them out. All right, hold on. I'll go get him.
Okay.
Okay, you back on camera, Bill.
A special appearance by La Parker or somebody. Was that La Parker or somebody like that?
You see him?
I can see him.
Yeah, no, that was last. I mentioned this on another show on Time Machine. That was not La Parka. This one is not from Mexico. He's from New York. He's La Central Parker.
La Central Parker. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Oh, my comb over's in bad shape.
La Central Park. La Central Park.
Parka. La Central Parka. See, you can roll your L's. I know a lot of people. My favorite commercial when I was a kid was Ruffles.
Ruffles.
You can do that.
Yeah, I can roll my R's. Yes,
I don't know why I'm looking so dark on here tonight. Because when we were
maybe the contrast
earlier today,
so bright.
This didn't happen. So
okay.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
It's all good, man. You're still handsome. You're still handsome, man.
I know that. I'm still so pretty. So what?
Proud too.
I got to tell you something. I got to talk about something here. What is Becky?
So Bill.
What
do you want to talk about? I had to put that Cody Rhodes. What do you talk about?
I want to know, what is Becky Lynch going to do now?
What is
she going to do? She lost her NXT women's title to young Lyra Valkyria tonight.
Huh.
Can we have a round of applause for Lyra here? Yeah, and it was a really good match. The fans were chanting, "This is awesome." But Becky lost. I thought if she was going to lose the NXT Women's Championship, it might have been on one of the two major brands.
Yeah.
But that was nice of her to lose the title to this lovely young lady. And they were both from the same country. They had live feed from Ireland. On the show.
So was there an angle behind this, or was it just a random match?
No, it was the biggest match of Lyra's career. She's kind of a rookie out of Ireland, and they did.
So there wasn't any angle. So there wasn't any angle. It was just
really, not really. Gotcha. It was a plain match. It was Halloween Havoc Part 1. And there was a lights out match, which when I was growing up, lights out meant you clock the opponent, and if they can't get up, their lights were out. But this one was actually done almost in the dark, a different match. And they had some tag team matches, but this match in particular was really good. And Becky, look, do you think her husband's going to be mad when she gets home?
No.
Or is he going to say,
That's what he's going to do. Yes. Okay. Well, for those NXT enthusiasts that are on the SK Nation right now live, what do you think? I am definitely not an NXT enthusiast anymore. I don't really follow the product very much.
Wait, are we a nation? I didn't know that.
SK Nation. Absolutely. Yes. We're SK Nation.
I want to make sure.
SK Nation, if you are in the chat room, Let me know what you think. For those who are NXT enthusiasts, like I said, I don't follow the product really at all anymore. I'll peek in there every now and then.
Okay.
But well, you know, when I'm again, I don't care if I follow the product adamantly or not. My question is, you know, what's the build? You know, what's the build for this person to win a championship?
Yeah.
If
Well,
it's just if it's just a cold build, that doesn't really
no,
do too much for me.
I don't think so. I think it's for this young lady
No,
to
I'm talking about the
become.
build. If the build's cold, was the build cold? Was it just a match? I mean, was it just an announcement or what?
Oh no,
How did they build it?
yeah, they've announced it for a while. They announced it on Raw, I believe, as well. So that it was going to
Okay,
happen.
so they just
So yeah,
announced it on Raw. Like what was the build to the match? That's what I'm asking.
just that this will be the biggest match of this rookie Lyra's career, and a great match for Becky because
It's a
Lyra
weak build.
Lyra's hero was Becky Lynch. So this
Okay.
very
Lyra's hero was Becky Lynch. So did they say that on NXT? Like, did they give us some weeks?
yeah. They built
Okay.
that up beautifully.
They
So
built it. Like, how long did it take? Like, how long was the build?
I'm not sure because I don't remember,
Okay.
but it was a I think it was a few weeks in the making.
Gotcha. For
Did
those
you
who are
watch Monday Night
NXT and
Raw?
did I watch? Of course I did. I have to.
Really?
I do a post show
I
every
saw
time.
you watching it. I know.
For those NXT enthusiasts out there, what do you think? Was the build long enough? Was it? What was the rhyme? Was it a cold title win? To me, cold championship wins doesn't do it doesn't really
No, it
help
wasn't.
much.
They built
And
it.
what I mean by a cold title win is that the build wasn't very strong. It didn't last. You know, it wasn't long. It didn't really get me intrigued or really anybody intrigued. Didn't last a few weeks. So we'll see for those
If
who
you
are
watch
NXT enthusiasts.
NXT, there was a build for it because Becky's been parading around with that championship all over the place. So there was a
Okay,
build for it.
so there was a build for her for the
No, the build was for both of them. This was the hero, the person, Lara's hero
okay.
being Becky, and Becky wrestling her, someone who admired her from the same country.
Okay.
So it got a lot
And
of big buzz.
that lasted for weeks.
I believe so. I
Okay.
believe so.
Okay.
I
Cool.
believe so. I know I heard it mentioned several times on the other brands.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll see where that goes. What women now are like heavy in the title hunt in NXT?
And NXT is Tiffany Stratton is probably the number one
Okay, I
girl.
do know who Tiffany Stratton is.
Yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
is the
Other than
person who
that,
beat Becky Lynch a babyface?
yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll
Yeah,
probably
the
be
other
her
thing
and
is,
Tiffany.
before the match started,
Okay.
two gentlemen brought out Jade Cargill, who was fully clothed,
Mm.
and she opened up and had that jewel bikini type of thing on,
Mm-hmm.
flexed her muscles, and they put
Mm-hmm.
her on a throne to watch the
Oh.
match. So
Oh.
here is my mentality
Oh.
about this. Now that I thought about this, my
Oh.
mentality toward this is that perhaps Jade now saw this change that Lyra Valkyria is
Mm-hmm.
the new champion and she's a rookie, and maybe they're going to build a match with Jade against her, and this becoming Jade's first title in the WWE universe.
You think she's ready?
Jade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think with the experience she had in AEW and the weeks that she's had now at the Performance Center, yeah, I think at least to go against someone on the level of Lara. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
My
Well,
personal thought.
okay. Well, you know more about NXT than I do, because so I'll take your word for it. As far as if Jade's ready, period, to get a championship, I don't think so. Because like I said before, the TBS championship to me just didn't do much. I mean,
No, no.
and to this day, it goes to show, because we're barely even seeing it now. Like, it just really didn't do much to elevate the championship at all. And I like her Statlander. I like her a lot. But the TBS championship is worthless.
It was defended on Collision this past Saturday, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Why isn't it showcased on Dynamite anymore? Because it used to be on Rampage a lot, right?
I remember.
It was like the Rampage Championship, right? So
but it's all the same TV family there.
Okay.
It's all under that Warner Brothers Discovery network. So
So I wonder why she wasn't showcased on Dynamite much. Now I did know that there were some thoughts. I did get some intel, some insider intel that there was some people didn't necessarily want to work with her, not because she was just negative. I heard she was pretty pleasant backstage, but
yes.
But as far as just her being such a rookie, there's a lot of pride backstage and people not wanting to work with her, to not wanting to get over, her to get over on them. So
she not to take a dive for her at this point.
Yeah. So, and plus, and I can understand that to an extent, because if that person, those people were like, look, what do I get from this? I mean, am I just a pawn, in the chess game of Jade getting over? No thanks. I don't want to be used for that. There's no payoff for me. No, I'm not going to do that. And I understand that from a business point. I mean, you gotta go into business for yourself at times, man. And that's
but it is part of the job. It is part of the job when the boss says, "Listen, we're elevating her, and no disrespect to you, but we need you to put her over."
Yeah, and sure, but I mean, I think the people who stand up for themselves in that way, I respect those people. Because the thing is, they're not going to come back to you and say, "Oh, thank you for putting Jade over. By the way, it's like, by the way, thank you for putting Jade over. Are you ready now? Do you want a title shot?" Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, "Okay, well, yeah, you put Jade over. You put Jade over." They're not going to come back around and say, "Thank you. I'm going to reward you for it." So, I respect people like that.
You do like the old days. You get a girl who is just starting out,
that
no one really knows what they call a jobber.
Yeah, jobber or enhancement talent. Yep.
An enhancement player, and you make Jade look even better than she is.
I agree. See, that I agree with. And I think that's long gone are the days of jobbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where are the jobbers at? Give you about $250 or $500 a pop, and
that's a lot. $50.
Have a nice day. No, I think enhancement rate is $250 now. Well, now I think it went up to like $500. Oh, back in the mags.
Back in the mags. Who was your favorite jobber enhancement player in all the years you've been watching? Who was it?
I would probably say SD Jones.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, SD Jones. Yeah, Iron Mike Sharp was very popular. Who else was big? Frank Williams.
Aaron Cicluna.
Remember Frank Williams?
Cicluna.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who else was a big enhancement? I mean, I guess you can count the Brooklyn Brawler as an enhancement.
You could. No, how about Johnny Rods? I mean, even though he became a star in Los Angeles,
he was a Hall of Famer, man.
Yeah, but he could put people over like nobody else. Davey O'Hannon.
Yeah.
Davey O'Hannon was excellent.
He sure was. I'd consider Barry Horowitz, an enhancement talent, what I mean? But he was fantastic though. Barry, really nice guy too. Him and I are cool, to this day. But yeah, I think those names are pretty. Those are really good questions. See, look at you, Bill Apter.
What?
Journalist extraordinaire, man. That was a really good question.
That's what we try to. So Monday Night Raw, bro. I always watch your Legion of Raw with Vince Russo. So Cody is last night when I watched Monday Night Raw, depending upon when you're all watching this, it's live now, but if you watch it in a few days, it was a few days ago. Mm-hmm. But remember, Dusty always came to the ring to rescue somebody bandaged up with his arm or something around a schmata around his head, as we call it. And Cody did that last night. Cody with trying to run down the aisle there and make it to the ring in time. So I'm seeing a lot of Dusty in Cody because there's so many young fans that don't even know that stuff existed. That maybe they're seeing with Cody that they're recycling it now. What do you think?
I don't mind Cody, kind of digging into his inner Dusty. I don't mind that. The only problem is Cody just doesn't resonate with me when it comes to a babyface. He just doesn't. Like, he just doesn't look anything like his father. Like, there's nothing about Cody Rhodes that mirrors his dad whatsoever.
What about the entrance? So when he gets in the ring, I remember his dad used to take in the roar of the crowd so well, and Cody does the same thing. He seems so appreciative of that.
I mean, I can respect that, but if that's all you got, I mean, that I'm not sold on that. I mean, there's nothing else to like I said before in the show last night, when he was the American Nightmare, it made sense to me. It made sense because he had dark hair. He was with Bullet Club. He was just an antagonist. He was a really good heel. He came suited up. He was everything contrary to his son of a plumber, cowboy, Texan, blonde hair, blue eye, soul, baby, dad, if you will, father. So he was everything antithetical to Dusty. And that made sense because Dusty was the American dream. Cody was the American nightmare because he was antithetical to his dad and he wanted to carve his own path. I respect that. But now though, he's coming suited up and he looking better than everybody else. He doesn't have an everyman character. Like,
right. He did Dusty used to do that. Dusty would come in a sports jacket.
He would. Yeah. Well, he wouldn't come. He would come in a sports jacket and some pants and cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Like that's Cody doesn't. Cody comes in 3-piece suits and looking, debonair. You know what I mean? Which, handsome guy, man. Got to give it. Cody looks. He's looking good in these suits. Like the suit that he had on with the. I'm a fashion guy, so his suits are okay. Sometimes they're good. Yesterday, the suit, the blazer and vest combo was actually pretty good pattern there. But at the same time, it's like, but like,
it's just
where's Dusty in all this though?
It's not clicking with you. Well, he wants to be. I think he wants to be his own man, but I think there are times that Dusty air just kind of sinks into him, and he goes off on being kind of like Dusty. But I don't think.
I think he should be all the way like Dusty, though.
Do you?
Like, yes. If the gimmick as a babyface is, I want to finish the story. He came in with his first promo back, showing pictures of Dusty, talking about MSG when it was the Dusty finish. Even in WWE when it wasn't necessarily the Dusty finish. I think he beat Billy Graham by count out and still held the title up. You can't win the title with count out. He won, but he didn't win the title, right? So
right.
He was talking about that. That was his very start of his whole comeback in WWE. Finish the story. This is what my dad did. He wasn't able to do it. Now I want to do it. I like that. I'm okay with that. But don't give me like a little bit of Cody American Nightmare that was created and then a little bit of Dusty. Like, I think the more Dusty you get, the more people get behind it. So when you make that heel turn, it's that much more devastating.
Oh, yeah, but they are so behind him. I mean, how can you even say more people would get behind him? I mean, right now, he gets the biggest pop on the card.
I think that people are mostly behind him because that's how fans are nowadays. When they're locked into making someone the guy, they're locked. Like, they will be
like LA Knight.
Like LA Knight. Absolutely. and so like Kofi Kingston, like even Mustafa Ali for a hot second before he got injured. You know what I mean? Like they fans are now, that's how fans are nowadays. Like they will absolutely like say, okay, this is a fan made guy. And so we're gonna latch on until he gets, what we want him to get, and then we'll put him in the dust. You know what I mean? And so
in the dust,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you on that. I see him totally differently. I really do.
I mean, history says that fans typically get behind someone and then throw them out to the wolves. I mean, I don't see Cody being anybody different. They did it with Seth. They did it with Seth when Seth won the world title. The year that he was Intercontinental Championship and around 2019 or so. So
yeah,
fans were really behind Seth Rollins, and then they, he ended up getting and being successful, and the fans just threw him out to the wolves, man. I mean that fans do that nowadays, man. That's unfortunate. People aren't being built larger than life.
They still love him right now. I mean, the whole thing with them.
Precisely. He's over mostly because of his song. So is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. But the fan has changed. It's a different fan than when I grew up, than when you grew up. It's a different fan than the Attitude Era. And I always cite this. You know what I think changed the fan forever?
What's that?
3 letters, ECW.
ECW, I agree.
Before ECW, you never heard fans say you effed up to wrestlers when they're chanting that, when they messed up in the ring, or this match sucks, or anything like. You never heard the fan disrespect or become that volatile language-wise at all. So it's that fan from that day forward, it just kept the domino effect. So it's there today in a lot of ways, not in the WWE. I don't see it that much in the WWE. Do you think AEW fans kind of mirror ECW fans in a lot of ways?
I absolutely do. I think fans, period. You say you don't see it much in WWE. I disagree. I see it a lot in WWE.
I see it in NXT, but I don't see it.
I see it on the main roster too. I don't see it. Really? I don't see it. I don't see the fans as hostile as it is in ECW, because ECW created the hostility for the fans to be bloodthirsty. You never saw a bloodthirsty fan as much, because in ECW days, like the good old days of world class at the Sportatorium, right? And USWA and stuff, and in Memphis and stuff like that. Those fans were like super character heavy, and that, to me, that's still the tried and true way of pro wrestling. It's very character driven. It's good guy, bad guy. It's hero and villain. It's rule breaker and fan favorite, as they would say in the mags. And so, you have that. And to me, that's still the tried and true. Superman, Batman, 60 years later, still the same comic book concept.
All right. So wait a minute. So babyface versus babyface on Wrestling Time Machine. We were discussing during our taping tonight Sting's final opponent. And Teddy Long came up with Adam Copeland. So you have babyface versus babyface. What would you think of that match as Sting's final match?
No, absolutely not.
Who should it be then?
So
I like this.
Vince Roosbro. I call him Roosbro. Vince Roosbro and we actually have a lengthy video coming out about who Sting's last opponent should be. And it's a really, really good video. So I don't want to spoil it too much.
Okay.
But neither of us said Adam Copeland. And I will say this. I do not think Adam Copeland would be a suitable last opponent for Sting. I don't think he should be.
All right.
I disagree with that that take. So let's see what we have for the next 5 minutes over at the SK.
Oh, we're that far into this show already?
Yeah, that's what we do, man. That's
By
what
the
we
way,
just.
Bullet and the Phillies lost.
Yeah, the Phillies lost, man. Phillies
The
lost.
Arizona Diamondbacks. Good luck to you. But it was such a being living in the Philadelphia suburbs the past 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That ride that we all took with the Phillies, that was an amazing team, and it just to have it not happen tonight, dang or damn.
There you go. So all right, so I'll peek over here. Of course,
where are you
super
looking?
chats.
Let me see.
I'm looking over here over the chat.
Over there.
So
over there.
over there. Right
Yeah,
over
I see it. I see it. Take that one. Take that one.
Take that one. So of course, super chat gets first president. That will give you a guaranteed spot. Your question to be answered. Here's a good one. Who do you see ending Seth Rollins' World Championship reign? That's a good question.
Wow. It is a good question. I don't think it will be at the big show in Saudi Arabia coming up.
Or could it be?
No, I don't think so. I just don't. No,
I
I don't see anyone at this point to take that championship.
I think it could be.
I don't know.
You know why?
Why are you thinking that?
Because I think Damian Priest could cash in.
I was gonna go with Damian Priest.
Yep. I think if there's any time to cash in, and Seth can do a heroic baby face, underdog, come from behind chase for the title. But there you go. I mean,
maybe, but I don't see anyone else on the roster that resonates with me that would be in that role.
I agree. I don't. I like I told you before, man. I just don't see any star power on the Raw roster. Like I don't see any like mega star power.
You know what I want to do this week, and you do this too. Okay,
what's up?
Stop people that you know, and ask them. You say pro wrestling. Can you name any pro wrestlers of today, and see if any of the top tier people come up.
Sure, I'll say that to my clients during therapy.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, by the way, do you know any wrestlers? Oh yeah, Dr. Featherstone. I'm going through a lot. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, by the way, do you know any wrestlers currently?
I am. You're going to get one of those. I am one. I'm an indie guy. That's why I come to you. Anyway, next question here.
That's a good point. All right, let's do one more question here, unless there are any super chats right now. Let's do
that one. That one's good.
That one's a good one.
Yeah, that one's good.
Someone saying Sting's last match should be in TNA. I don't agree with that, but let's talk about TNA real quick for a few minutes.
It's now TNA again. I think next month, isn't it January? It's
Hard to Kill, yes, in January. Yeah. So
I
don't think it'll move the needle at all, but I mean, hey, it's old school, man. It's TNA. It's where it started, Impact
total
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling to me, because they used to have TNA Impact. Right? Impact Wrestling was the name of the show. You know what I mean? That to me it would be like WWE changing its brand to just Raw is War or Raw Wrestling. You know what I mean? Like it just.
Well, they did at the beginning. It's Monday Night Raw.
Right, but they didn't make their whole company that though.
Right.
Like TNA Impact Wrestling was the name of a show, and it was TNA Impact Wrestling, and so it just became Impact Wrestling as an entire brand. That would be like WWE making an entire brand Raw Wrestling. Like it doesn't make sense. So the chance didn't really make sense. Like it was, like TNA, like from a fan standpoint, you can get behind TNA. Like Impact Wrestling.
Split it? What if there's going to be an outlaw group saying you changed it to TNA and you didn't ask us? we are still Impact Wrestling, and we're going to win our company back. That'd be a good
They
idea.
tried. See, I did it a couple times. They did that with ROH. They
I
brought in some
remember.
people, and that didn't work out too much. They also did
But
that
they
with.
didn't have TV like TNA has. They didn't have that major TV.
Yeah, they did.
They had syndicated TV.
Yeah, no. When ROH came, they were in Access, I believe. And they even had, yeah, they even had a bigger base when GFW was there.
Mm-hmm. I remember
they
that.
did an invasion angle with GFW.
I remember
too.
that.
Yeah. So
yeah, but I don't know what a big difference this will make in their viewership. Hopefully, the company will do a major marketing campaign and get that. Maybe we can get Scott D'Amore to come on here in the next week or two and discuss it with him.
I'd be game.
Would you be game for that?
Absolutely.
I'm going to see if I can set it up.
Sounds good. Right. Sounds good. Yeah. Billy Corgan's been doing interviews. Speaking of Corgan, let's end with Corgan real quick for next week. See, that's something I'm pumped up about Corgan in NWA right now. Actually, that's something I am popping for. I'm all for competition. Very nice buckle there. I'm all for wrestling competition because that competition causes the next person, the competitor. It causes the drive to increase and the motivation and the energy to get higher. So now you have NWA who's signing a deal with CW. Very nice. Very happy about that. And Corgan's going around. I've listened to a little bit of his, about 15 minutes of his interview on the Kurt Angle show. Very, very good so far. He was talking about Meltzer and a couple other things. It was a really good interview so far. I plan on watching.
Yeah, I get along great with him, by the way.
Yeah, he's like, and so I'm all for that. And this is why one of the reasons why I'm all for that, because if you're thinking about AEW's distribution, TBS and TNT is like 15th or 16th or in 18th respectfully within viewership. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, CW's 19th. So
yeah,
it's
they
right
don't
there.
Put it on at 2 a.m. Yeah, as long as they don't put it on at 2 a.m.
Right. As long as they have a prime time.
Right now, WOW, the Women of Wrestling, has a really good time spot. At least here locally in the Philadelphia market. So the show's doing really well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and AJ Lee's still in charge of that, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. I know she was.
Whatever happened to her husband, that Punk guy?
I think he started doing some indie stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking at the. Okay, here we go. NBC, CBS.
TNA.
So TNT is 13th, TBS is 15th. Now CW's 25th. So it's relatively comparable. So about 965,000 average for TNT, 13th, 875,000 average for TBS, and the CW is they get their viewership is 574,000. So over 500,000 people, man. So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. No, I think it'll do great.
That's really good.
Even their YouTube shows were really good. I enjoyed watching them. And you have people like Ricky Morton, helping run that company, and you can't do anything better than that. Really.
Agreed. Yeah. And that's just the from this article here. This is a Variety article of end of last year. That's just it says, okay, so that's total viewers, and then the 18 to 49 demographic too. But I mean, I'm all for that, man. That's great news. I think that's pulling in nearly 600,000 people. As far as viewership base, you can easily get, a pretty good rating. Pretty decent rating.
If you're a wrestling fan, look at everything you got to pick and choose from. It's great.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, this guy right here is Bill Apter. You got a lot of things going on, man. Let the listeners know.
Yes, I will be this coming Saturday. I will be at the Icons of Wrestling convention at the old ECW Arena. I'll be signing copies of my books, walking around doing interviews for Sportskida.
Yeah.
And a lot of bookings coming up next year. I have 4 or 5 already in the can. And Dr. Chris, hopefully you'll be with me with a few of them.
Very nice indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, follow me at Chris Prolific, Pancakes and Power Slams. I'm going to do a tier list of Crown Jewel 2018 coming up. So, yeah, Crown Jewels.
By the way, I have a complaint here.
Sure.
I noticed when you do your show with Vince Russo, you have your Twitter handle below your name and his Twitter. And where's my Twitter handle? At Apter One Wrestling. Where is it?
That's the media people. They make the lower thirds, not me.
Goodness.
Yeah, I think that's a fair complaint.
It really is.
So give us some more lower thirds for both of our Twitter handles on the bottom of our names. Yes, indeed.
Please.
At Apter One Wrestling.
It is, and that's
at Chris Prolific. Right here. Yes.
Explain Chris Prolific. Where did that come from?
Prolific is one of my favorite words. That's my DJ name, DJ Prolific.
That's great.
Yes, it stems from Colossians 1:10, and that talks about being fruitful in your works and producing fruit. Basically, living for Christ and making it in a way that's producing offspring that people know that you're producing fruit from your lifestyle. And so that's so one of the terms for producing offspring is the word prolific. So that originated the word prolific in my life, and that's the reason why my Twitter handle is Chris Prolific and my DJ name is DJ Prolific.
I'm glad I asked you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Yes, because my goal is to produce fruit in my lifestyle.
And don't forget, everybody, subscribe to Wrestle Binge, because most everything I do video-wise is on Wrestle Binge.
Yes.
And Dr. Chris is on Wrestle Binge all the time.
I am all the time on Wrestle Binge. I have Wrestle Binge. I have 4 shows a week on Wrestle Binge, ladies and gentlemen. I have.
So you have the Legion of Raw.
I have Legion of Raw. I have Unscripted. I have Writing with Russo, and I have the Wrestling Outlaws with Vince and EC3. So I have 4 shows. Yeah, I'm the anchor of podcasting here on Unscripted, man. So I'm super thankful for that. It's a pleasure every single week, especially working with people like Bill Apter, who had a birthday yesterday.
Thank you. Yes, I did on Sunday. Thank you very much. I was about years old, and
yes, you are years old. Very nice, man. You
are
years old.
You pronounced that beautifully.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you all.
I hope I said that very clear and concisely of your age.
Yeah,
you are right? Yes, indeed. Yeah.
You do, and you'll clean it up.
Yes.
Thank you all very much for following us here every week. And
yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here is Bill Apter. I'm Dr.
Like
Chris.
I said, I know which way to point the finger now.
Yes, indeed. Have a good night, everybody. This is Unscripted on Sportskida Wrestle Binge. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share the link, or you smell like skunky stink, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. We'll see you on Halloween night.
Have a good night, everybody. Solo.